So you have your budget. All of your bills are getting paid, you're making progress on your debt or your savings, everything is under control. But you are totally sick of it. You are sick of pinching pennies and logging every single transaction and seeing something that you would have bought before you started budgeting and there's not enough money in the envelope. I'm here to help. I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl, and welcome to my channel. Unfortunately, I have to diagnose you with budget burnout. But don't worry, it happens to all of us. And I am very excited to spearhead this collaboration with some of my favorite YouTubers on all of our best tips on how to beat this point of your life and get back on track or win more or just feel better. And if there's anyone that can help you, it's us, because we have been doing this for a very long time and cataloging the process. So here are my 6 ways to beat budget burnout. I hope you enjoy. Real talk time, I used to be on my way to being a shopaholic. My mother definitely was, and I used to just spend all of my free time, whether it was 2 hours between college classes or just downtime at home, shopping online or shopping in stores, and I would spend every single penny that I had in my wallet before I would stop. Obviously not the best way to live. Now that I'm living differently and paying off my debt and just living more frugally and buying things that I need and want sometimes, but not all the time, I am changing the way I'm doing things. That doesn't, however, mean that you can't ever get things that you want. Something that has been key to me in keeping myself on track is having a reward system in place for when I make progress. So in my case, I started out with $32,000 in student loan debt. Now I'm almost at 15. And one of the ways that I've been able to keep on track without just going absolutely stir crazy is by setting up this reward system where I designate either somewhere between $50 and $100 every time I pay off $5,000 worth of debt. Now, I have told myself, and I've convinced myself that that is absolutely free money. I can do anything I want with that. I could buy a new dress, I can go get a pedicure or a manicure, I can buy something for the house. It's whatever I want. And this free money allows me to kind of think of things that I want and then put them off until I've made so much progress. And yes, over the course of over $30,000, a $100 reward here and there could certainly shorten my debt journey. However, by keeping myself on track, by giving myself these little allotments, I'm ensuring my success over the long term. There's also an important concept of having a big reward for finishing. And this is something that, yes, is off in the distance for me, and it was a lot further off in the distance when I started, but I have been planning my debt-free reward trip for years. It's something that allows me to take myself out of a place where I'm going, oh, why can't I just spend money? Why can't I just have and do what I want now? And put me in a place of, when I'm free, I can do this. And I can plan out now through Pinterest and ideas and just cataloging stuff together of, oh, I can go do this and I can go do this. It allows me to push myself forward and to keep pushing myself towards my goals without actually spending any money right now. Now, I'm absolutely going to take this trip, or trips, once I'm debt free. I am going to take full advantage of the fact that I will not have half of my paycheck every single month going to debts that I accrued years ago. Having both short-term and long-term rewards set up in place absolutely helps me stay on track. And while it may not actually beat budget burnout in the moment, though I can start to plan for when my next reward will be, it does help me stay on track over the long term. Now, if you used to spend a lot of time in your life accruing debt or spending money, then you're obviously going to have that time when you're no longer spending money or accruing debt. Now, you have to figure out a way to fill that time without the spending money capacity. So Here are a couple things that I've learned to do that fill my time, keep me active, and keep me away from the shopping and the stores and the computer and the boredom that comes along with not being able to spend any money. Walking is not only free, but is good for you and good for your health. I get bored walking. So what I do is I download audiobooks to my iPhone and I listen to it while I'm walking. Now, I do have my furry companion, Rory, who always helps make walks interesting and encourages me to keep going. But walking around with friends or with neighbors or a dog or even by yourself lets you experience your universe, and it's free. Doesn't cost anything at all to walk around, and it can be very satisfying. Volunteering is also a free activity that can make you think twice or even 3 times about all the time that you used to waste spending money and accruing debt, and help you kind of zone in on some of the more important things in life. Volunteering at an animal shelter, for instance, as long as you can keep yourself from bringing all the animals home, is an excellent way to get a little bit of exercise and give of your time, spending your time in a way that benefits not only your community, but yourself. Picking up free sports is also a good activity for your overall health and a way to spend your time being outside without spending money. I picked up my tennis racket for $2 at a charity shop, some balls from Walmart for $1.67 for a can, and went out to the free tennis courts. Most parks have them. Somewhere in your town there's probably a free tennis court that you can go and play on. And if you don't have a buddy to play tennis with, I can pretty much guarantee you that if you go out there and hit some boards against the wall or hit some balls against the wall for a while, someone will show up and ask you for a game. If you're not good at tennis, there are other games that you can play. Basketball, there are always co-ed leagues through your community parks. There are things that you can do, sports for free. Now, disclaimer. Do not pick up an expensive sport or hobby. Do not pick up golf. Do not pick up roller derby. These are very expensive hobbies that cost a lot of money to continue to be in, and while they can be super fulfilling, they're going to go against your savings and debt repayment goals, not towards. I'm not saying you can never play golf or you can never play roller derby or whatever it is that you want to do that's an expensive hobby. However, you can't do it now. Think of that as something that you can do in the future, or save up for and be able to do. I promise you it's worth the wait. Finally, if you want a way to cut down on the amount of time you're going to be in debt or until you can reach your goals and spend your time doing something that's not spending money, you can always pick up another job. Now, I guarantee you that when I was delivering pizzas 3 nights a week for 6 to 8 extra hours after my normal day job, I was not thinking about spending money. I was thinking about going home and going to sleep. But during the season that I did that, I saved a ton of extra money that I was able to put towards my debt and cut down on my overall repayment time. Now, if you are really scratching at the walls to be able to get out of your environment and do something, there are options where you don't have to spend money, or you can spend a very small amount of money and be able to do a lot. For instance, there are parks that you can go to and spend the day at that either have a very nominal fee or are completely free. I like to go hiking up at Mount Wilhelmina with Rory, and I always meet people on the trails that are either there camping or just hiking for the day, and it's a great way to spend time out in nature while getting away from the everyday scenery. You can also take a day trip, bring your lunch, or if you want to, save up and go to a park or something. You can reduce costs and break out of the monotony for a very small amount of price. And then when you come back and get back into budgeting, it doesn't feel quite as restricting. Get your house in order. Now, if you're anything like me, you have a closet or a room or an area or a lot of places where you can do a little bit of cleaning up and cleaning out. Now, not only does this take up your time and help your environment at home, it can definitely be a way to keep you from amassing more things, because when you are knee deep in a closet full of stuff that you cannot remember when you bought it, know you have never used it, but can specifically remember how much you spent on it, you don't feel like shopping. No one ever feels bad about cleaning out a space full of crap that they don't use anymore. In fact, I tend to go back and look at newly organized spaces that have been cleaned out and purged and feel just as good as I do when I buy something new at a store. Promise. Now, when you clean up your environment, you go through and you make piles to sell, donate, keep, and trash. Now, the sell pile you can actually use to generate money for a day when you can go out and spend a little bit of money as a reward, or you can put that towards your debt. Believe it or not, this absolutely helps you beat budget burnout, because as much as your debt or your money woes burden you, the things that you already own can do the same thing. And when you clear them out and use them to generate a little bit of money to do other things with, you can feel lighter. Disclaimer, do not go to the Container Store and spend a ton of money on reorganizing these spaces. Use things from around your house, you probably already have them, or free items like shoe boxes that are covered with contact paper, something, or at last ditch effort, the dollar store to organize these new spaces. It doesn't have to look like Martha Stewart lives there, and it'll feel just as nice whether you spend $100 on containers to organize your remaining stuff as it will when you spend nothing. Get rid of larger items on Craigslist to sell locally or on Facebook swap groups. Make sure to meet in public places with backup. Sell other items on eBay, and at a last-ditch effort, consign. Clothes at local consignment shops can sell for a lot more money than you think, and everything that you can't get rid of, go ahead and donate and take the tax deduction. You'll be happier to get it out of your house than you will storing it for seasons. If you absolutely are still burnt the freak out, plan a day out. Believe it or not, shopping. Now, here are the rules. 1, use money that you earned by doing extra jobs, selling stuff, anything like that, or if really, really necessary, carve out a hole in your budget for money to use. Don't go crazy. Absolutely use the smallest amount that you can. Go over it. 2, take a wish list. This is one of my best tips, and I'll link a video on my wish list below, but don't buy anything that's not on the list. If you have been looking for a mustard shawl forever and you think it'll absolutely complete your wardrobe, go ahead and look for that mustard shawl, and if you can find it and if you can buy it within the money that you've allotted yourself, go ahead. Have fun. On this day out, feel free to spend within the parameters of the money that you have. I would advise taking cash and not your cards, and not doing this if you think you're gonna whip out the plastic and go absolutely nuts. If you're anything like me, you'll start to realize that there isn't a lot in the stores that you actually need, and that getting out of debt is a lot more important. That said, go ahead and spend your money. Just don't do this every other month or every week. That's not sustainable. Plan these days once or twice a year. Go out, shop, enjoy yourself, have a meal, come back home, having only spent the money in your envelope. And finally, pat yourself on the back for making a budget and committing to this lifestyle. It's not forever, and soon you'll be able to loosen the reins and be able to spend your money that you've earned, that you're not wasting away on things that you don't want or need, on what you really, really value. It's a better life, and you'll be better for it. I hope some of these tips will help you beat budget burnout if you come across it. I know that it's happened to me several times over the last several years, and it's not easy. It's not. But when you're committed to keeping a budget and a lifestyle and getting out of debt or working towards your goals, it's good. It's better. You can do it. You absolutely can. Now, I am absolutely thrilled to be doing this collab. There are a couple of people that are participating this time that I've never collabed with before. Mike and Lauren, if you haven't checked them out, Annie's Simple Life, and a fairly new YouTuber, Pennies into Pearls, is also participating in this, as well as many of the YouTubers that I converse with on a daily basis. So make sure you check out everybody in the collaboration list below, and like every collab I start, this is an open collab. So feel free to take the concept, how to beat budget burnout, and make your own video. We'll make all of the financial YouTube community a better, less burnouty place. I'll see you all soon. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope if you're seeing my channel for the first time that you'll stick around. It only gets better from here.